And Michael Steele, the former chairman of the Republican National Committee, is committee and convention. What would it be? How do you say it there, Michael?
Hey, man, I'm just a former chairman. That's how you do it.
Former chairman. Okay.
Yeah.
So, great to have you with us.
It's great to be with you.
And thank you for joining us. And very much thank you for joining us. What is the sense? Last night I heard all these speeches, and I heard all about how wonderful Ohio is now that President Obama has saved the auto industry, and I heard about how Chris Christie's mom was quoting Niccolo Machiavelli to him and teaching him lessons, on her knee, and I learned all this stuff about these people. I didn't hear anybody say anything about Mitt Romney other than he's a good guy. Is he getting burned by this?
No, I don't think he's getting burned. Although I will say it's a little bit odd that it 1,700 words into Chris Christie's speech before he actually mentions Romney's name. But I think it was sort of setting up the biography, the comparative biography, talking about individual personal experiences and trying to relate that out. I don't think he's getting burned per se. The goal here, and of course the emphasis really was less about the keynote and really more about Ann Romney. I thought Ann Romney, in many respects, kind of laid out a nicer and more eloquent, expose, if you will, about their marriage, obviously, but certainly about the man. I think the only sort of hiccup for me was I thought the Christie speech should have gone first, and I thought you you should have ended it with sort of that warm moment, particularly with the kiss. End. Right, you do the fade to black, and that's it. So people walk away with a feel good. As opposed to the anxious rah-rah of Christie's speech. But they both were very strong speeches in their own right.
The Republican Party, and not just the Republican Party, but their surrogates, the PACs and all this stuff,
right.
They're running this ad that has this blatant lie in it about Obama wanting to do away with work requirements for welfare. They're doubling down on this thing. Everybody has called them out as liars on it. And yet, apparently, it is resonating with some white voters who, it's always been fashionable to kick around people on welfare. I mean, there's probably never been a time in American politics when it hasn't been somewhat successful to pick on poor people, other than maybe the 1930s. And this is working for Romney. Are you guys going to continue using lies and distortions in your advertising?
It's not a you guys, because I don't have any decision-making power. I'm not in the campaign.
Okay, is the Republican Party going to continue doing this?
Well, again, that's not the Republican Party. That's the individual PAC that's running the ad. And
is that Karl Rove's PAC? Is that GPS?
I think it's GPS, a GPS ad.
So
I can only speak to what I've said and what I know, and that is there's no place for this crap in the campaign. The American people want substance. They want the debate to be elevated. We need to move away and shy away from the kinds of rhetoric and words that can be construed or misconstrued to mean something that they don't. And so that we can have a clean, honest discussion about how we put America back to work, how we empower small businesses. And I think and I hope coming out of this convention, that's the attitude that people have. If not, I'll tell you straight up, if not, this is going to be a long, ugly campaign. It's going to be a Seinfeld-esque campaign about nothing. And the American people will feel that its leadership once again has failed them. And that doesn't lead to a good place.
Right.
So my hope is that we all do better, both Barack Obama and his team and the people that, he says he can't control, and Mitt Romney and his team and the people he says he can't control,
right.
All get out there and understand that it's the American people that ultimately have the control.
Well, there was that one dishonest, shall we say, or less than fully honest ad that was run by one of the PACs, that Obama has no control over. Obama came out and condemned it, and they pulled the ad. The PAC pulled the ad.
Yeah.
Now you've got Karl Rove running an ad that is full of lies, and everybody's condemning it. You just called it crap. I mean, God bless you. I totally agree with you. And Karl Rove is saying, we're going to do more of this.
Well, look, again, this is something that the American people are going to challenge back on. The campaigns are going to have to deal with. There comes a point, quite honestly, where enough is enough. And while I think people think it will have the intended effect, it could very literally backfire on them. It could become a real problem for the campaign. We even saw recently, and this is why the ad you're referring to about inferring that Romney, time at Bain resulted in the death of this man's wife.
That ad appeared for less than a week because it got debunked, basically.
Well, yeah, exactly. And so the point is, and we can argue whether or not that is a worse or better ad than the one that's currently running. The point is, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Whether you infer.
Well, and the bigger point is that it got pulled, and that Rove's lie ad is not only running, they're throwing more money at it.
Right. And so if you want to take the risk to further alienate those independent voters who find the ad to be a distortion or an outright lie, then you're going to run that risk, and you'll see that reflected in the polls. And guess what? They'll get it.
But maybe, you've got the Republican Party has 0% of the African American vote. So, they're reaching out to whites aggressively and, using this word welfare, which even though you and I both know more than 60% of Americans who are on welfare are white. Nonetheless, welfare is code in political circles and has been for a long time since Nixon's Southern strategy. It's code for black people, and this is just, Well,
let me tell you what my frustration is. My frustration is that every time we talk about welfare in this country, we immediately jump to black in the first place. That says as much about the African American community to allow that to happen as it does about white folks who do it. So, we all need to get off of that dime in a heartbeat, because the reality of it is, for the wealth that's generated within the black community, even among those who are poor, it's important that we recognize that everybody aspires to something better. And I think that's the message.
Absolutely. And most of the poverty in America is in the white community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we need to do something about that, too. Michael Steele, former chairman of the Republican National Committee, the RNC. Michael, real quickly, why did you flip the stars upside down?
Why did I flip the stars upside down? I didn't.
Okay.